जय कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा गिरिधारी राधे, जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रमय, जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव, जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव। जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय, जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय। जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व, जय पंचतत्व। जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 4, chapter 16, and text 4. So this the chapter is entitled Praise of King Prithu by the Professional Reciters. So Esha Dharma Britam Sreshto Lokam Dharme Nuvartayam Gopta Cha Dharma Setunam Shashta Tat Paripantinam Esha Dharma Britam Sreshto Esha Dharma Britam Sreshto Lokam Dharmenuvartayan Lokam Dharmenuvartayan Gopta Cha Dharma Setunam Gopta Cha Dharma Setunam Shasta Tatparipantinam Shasta Tatparipantinam Esha Dharma Britam Shreshto Lokam Dharma Nuvartayan Gopta Cha Dharma Setunam Shashta Tatparipantinam Esha Dharma Britam Shreshto Lokam Dharmenu Vartayan Gopta Cha Dharma Setunam Shasta Tatparipantinam. So if you want to recite this verse.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I am trying.
Okay, Madhav.
एषो धर्म भृतं श्रेष्ठ लोकं धर्मे अनुवर्तयान् गोप्ता च धर्म सेतूनां शास्ता तत्परिपन्थिनां। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, let me try.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yesa dharma vrtam sresto lokam dharme anuvartayan Gopta cha dharma jetunam sasta tat paripandinam.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Esa dharma vratam sreshto lokam dharmenu vartayan gopta cha dharma setunam sasta tat paripantinam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji will have a go as well.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
एष धर्माभृतां श्रेष्ठो लोकं धर्मे अनुवर्तयन् गोप्ता च धर्मसेतूनां शास्त्रतत्परिपन्थिनाम्.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, so someone can read the synonyms. So, who wants to read the synonyms, the word by word meaning?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji.
Esaha, this king Pradhu, dharma vratam, of persons executing religious activities. Sreshtaha, the best. Lokam, the whole world. Dharme, in religious activities. Anuvartayan, engaging them properly. Gopta, the protector. Cha, also. Dharma setunam, of the principles of religion. Shastra, the chastiser. Tat paripantinam, of those who are against religious principles. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And someone can read the translation.
Yes. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This king, Maharaja Prithu, is the best amongst those who are following religious principles. As such, he will engage everyone in the pursuit of religious principles and give those principles all protection. He will also be a great chastiser to the religious and atheistic. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. I haven't got the purport on the screen, but someone can read the purport, please.
Let me read one more.
Prabhu, purport is not showing in the screen.
Yes, Mataji?
Purport is not showing in the screen.
Yeah, I think I did not take a copy of that photo of that. Someone can read it from the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me read, Prabhuji. But Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The duty of the king or the head of the government is described very nicely in this verse. It is the duty of the governmental head to see that people strictly follow a religious life. A king should also be strict in chastising the atheist. In other words, an atheistic or godless government should never be supported by a king or governmental chief. That is the test of good government. In the name of secular government, the king or governmental head remains neutral and allows people to engage in all sorts of irreligious activities. In such a state, people cannot be happy. Despite all economic development, however, in this age of Kali, there are no pious kings. Instead, rogues and thieves are elected to head the government. But how can the people be happy without religion and God consciousness? The rogues exact taxes from the citizens for their own sense enjoyment. And in the future, the people will be so much harassed that according to Srimad Bhagavatam, they will flee from their homes and country and take shelter in the forest. However, in Kali Yuga, democratic government can be captured by Krishna conscious people. If this can be done, the general populace can be made very happy. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Chaksurunmilitamena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Radha Govinda Goswami Niti Namine. Namaste Prabhupada Dev Gauravani Pachayane. Nirvishesh Sunyavadi Grama Jana Nistaya. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesh Sunyavadi Paschata Deshitayane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gauravatrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So we are reading um, from Srimad Bhagavatam. These are prayers of the professional reciters. So we know that the background is Prithu Maharaj was born from the body of which king?
Bena.
Bena.
Yeah, he was born from the body of King Vena. So Vena was a very, very irreligious person. We know that he was a big thief, and all the thieves had, gone away from the kingdom when they came to know that Vena was made the king. When he was coronated. We know that this was done by the sages because of emergency. Because in an emergency, things can be quite different. So as Apad Dharma, the sages decided to make King Vena to make Vena the son of, who was his the son of?
Anga.
King Anga.
King Anga was a very religious king. He was a very pious king, but his son was not good. Sometimes we see this in the scriptures. The father is good, but the son is not very good. And sometimes we see the other way. The father is not very good, but the son is very good. So we have the example in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The
Prahlad
father,
Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj is a very nice example. And so, and sometimes they're both not good, like we see in the case of
Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana.
yeah, Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana and Sasana, all of them. We see that there are examples in the scriptures. So it's not always like father, like son. So in this case, we have the father was a very, very religious and pious king, but not the son, Vena. And so they made Vena the king, thinking that sometimes what happens is if people are given responsibility, they change. Like sometimes the parents think that when the son gets married, then he will come under control. So someone is given some extra responsibility, then they improve. But it did not happen in the case of King Vena. He did not change. One thing good happened is all the thieves actually ran away from the kingdom, because there was a big thief who became the king. So all the small thieves ran away from the place. But then what happened is he started stopping people from performing their dharma. And he started stopping people from performing austerities and started claiming that he was the supreme. And the sages, what they did was, the sages had the power. And what did the sages do?
For their words,
Yes, Mataji?
Rangamataji,
They
go ahead.
killed him. They killed him, Prabhuji, by this.
For their words, yeah.
Yeah, by their words.
Yeah. So King Vena was killed. King Vena was killed by the sages, the Brahmanas. We know that they performed their words were they can just curse someone and they could immediately die. And that happened. We see in the scriptures so many cases like that. Nimi Maharaj casing Vasishji casing Nimi, straight away death. They were so powerful. And people used to be very, very scared of the Brahmanas and the sages because they could curse people to die. Immediately they would die. So, and there are so many examples of that in the scripture. So they cursed him, or they used because of the power of their words, because they were very, very austere. They performed austerities and very truthful, and they could actually do that. And so Vain died, and then we know that his body was chained. The hands, the legs, the thighs were first chained, and we know that
Bahuka.
gave rise to the Nishad once, because Bahuk came out from the body, and he was actually the sin personified. All the sinful activities that he had performed, that took the form of a personality, and that was Bahuk. And that's when the Nishad once started, because he was asked to stop and sit down and be quiet and just have patience. Nishid iti, because he was made to, he was asked to calm down and sit down and wait, because he was asking who he was and what he has to do. So then he became Nishad also. And then after that, all the Nishadas who comes or later came are descendants of this Nishad. And then we know Prithu, the body was chained, the hands were chained, and then Prithu Maharaj was born, and also Archi. So Prithu is an incarnation of the Lord. There are so many incarnations mentioned in the scriptures. Prithu Maharaj is one of them, but Prithu Maharaj is a special kind of incarnation called
Saktavesh Avatar.
Saktavesh Avatar. There are so many incarnations mentioned. We have a long list given in the first canto. So Naradji is a what kind of incarnation? Is a Saktavesha Avatar. Naradji is not a Leela Avatar, is a Saktavesha Avatar. Is not like directly like Krishna, but is empowered. What was he empowered with?
Devotional service, Prabhuji.
Yeah, devotional service. He was empowered with devotional service, and he could make other devotees very, very easily. Like we have in this, we can see how easily he performed. He performed devotional service, of course, and then he made other devotees. And through his mercy, we know that we have got so many great devotees. Like for example,
Nalkuber Monigriv.
Dhruva Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj. Sorry, not Dhruva Maharaj.
Valmiki,
Valmiki,
Hanta, Mirgari.
And Vyasa actually
Yeah.
wrote all the scriptures. So he's a disciple of Naradji. So there's so many nice disciples of Naradji. So Naradji was empowered with devotion. So devotional service. One is, so he's a Saktavesha. And the 4 Kumaras are also Saktavesha avatars, and they were empowered with
Bhakti.
Bhakti.
They're empowered with knowledge. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Par-
Krishna.
Parasuram Prabhuji is also.
Yeah, Parsuram was empowered with what?
Yeah.
He was empowered with, what was he empowered with? What did he do?
He killed his mother and brothers.
Yeah. He was empowered with qualities to get rid of the miscreants.
Kshatriyas,
Power to power to destroy the miscreants. So
Yeah,
he
Kshatriyas,
was
yeah.
given that strength and the power to get rid of all the Kshatriyas who were not pious, or the people who followed adharma. And we know that Prithu Maharaj is empowered with, he's also Pakshaktiveta, Vaishyatar.
Ruling the king,
Hmm?
ruling the kingdom.
Yeah, the ruling power.
Ruling.
He's empowered with, he has got the power to rule him as a great king. So Prithu Maharaj appeared, and then we know that Archie also. Archie is the
Wife.
an expansion of Lakshmi Maya. And so Prithu is an empowered incarnation. He is a jiva, but empowered with some great quality. Someone is empowered with knowledge, someone is empowered with devotion, someone is empowered to do vinashaya chaduskritam. So vinashaya chaduskritam, who's empowered with that? Killing all the miscreants. Who was that?
Ashuram.
Arjuna.
Parshuram, yeah, Parshuram. So, and then we know that when he was coronated, and all the he had some signs which proved that he was empowered incarnation. He had like on his arms and on his palms, and then on his foot, the under sole of the foot. So all these signs proved that he was an incarnation. And then we know that the professional reciters are glorifying him. Of course, he stopped them. He said, "Please do not glorify me." But we know that we need to glorify the Lord. Because why do we need to glorify the Lord?
For our purification.
For our purification, and it is also one of the 9 kinds of
Bhakti.
Because we know that there are 9 kinds of devotional service, and one of that is
Kirtana.
Chanting.
glorifying the Lord. Also, there is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma, Nivedanam. So we have so glorifying the Lord or offering prayers. Which one is it? So we have Shravanam. Shravanam is what?
Yeah, glory.
Shravanam is
It's hearing, Prabhu, hearing.
That's hearing. Shravanam is hearing. Hearing, like who was the one who heard about the Lord and achieved perfection?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj.
Shravanam. Kirtanam.
Sukadeva Goswami.
Smaranam.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Padasevanam.
Lakshmi.
Lakshmi Ji.
Devi.
Archanam.
Prithu Maharaj.
Prithu Maharaj, yeah.
Yeah, Prithu Maharaj is Archanam, right? Archanam. Vandanam.
Akrur.
Akrur.
Dasyam.
Hanuman.
Satyam.
Arjun.
Arjun.
Atma Nivedanam.
Bali Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj.
And all of them.
Rishabh Dev.
No, Amrish Maharaj.
Amrish Maharaj, yeah.
Amrish Maharaj, all of them. So Prithu Maharaj is known for Archanam, right? So Vandanam is
Prayers. Offering
prayer.
prayers.
Offering praise, Vandanam. So that's Akrur. But here, what are these professional reciters doing?
Worshipping
Glorifying.
Lord. Hearing about worshipping Lord. Hearing Lord.
You're glorifying.
Glorifying. Which kind of devotion is it?
Archanam.
Huh?
Archanam.
I thought Kirtan.
Vandanam. It is Vandanam, offering prayers. Different glorification. Vandanam. It is Vandanam. So there, of course, they know that Prithu Maharaj is an incarnation, so therefore they are glorifying. Prithu Maharaj, and we know that just by glorifying the Lord, we get purified. And so here, the first, before that they had said that Lord is unlimited. So, and to know the Lord even is very, very hard, even for even great personalities like Lord Brahma. It's very hard to describe all the glorious qualities of the Lord. But still, the previous verse says still, you cannot describe inadequately or adequately, but still we can try our best. So just like we just discussed last time, the different kinds of birds, the sky is unlimited, but we know that they just fly according to their capacity. They can go as far as they can. Even the small birds will go a little bit, and the bigger birds like Garud and others can go even more. So similarly, according to our capacity, we can describe the qualities of the Lord or glorify the Lord. Although the Lord is Anant, His guna is Anant, Hari Anant, Hari Katha Ananta. So now in this verse, they are starting the glorification. The professional reciters, they say, Esha Dharma Britam Shreshto. So they're further speaking. So Dharma Britam Shreshtaha. So there's three important things mentioned here. One is Dharma Britam Loka Dharmenu Vartayan, and Gopta Cha Dharma Setuna, and Shasta Tat Paripantinam. So three things. What are the three important things here? What will Prithu Maharaj do? So because he hasn't done that, he hasn't manifested those, he has been coronated, and he hasn't got a chance to do anything yet. But these people are glorifying him. How do they know why how to glorify them? Why are they glorifying him like that? Before he has actually done anything.
Based on what the brahmanas and sages have advised them on?
Correct.
And because he's the supreme.
Yatopadesham munibhi prachoditaha. That's from the previous verse. Yatopadesham munibhi. So as the munis have instructed, as the sages have said about him, that this is Prithu Maharaj. We know that for most of the incarnations, it is known what the incarnation will do. Even before Lord Ramachandra actually appeared, in Valmiki Ramayana it is mentioned that it was known that he will be separated from Sita ji and all those things. And Sumant had gone with Dashrath to the ashram of Vashisth ji, and there were sages. There were sages who were discussing about the son of Dashrath or Ramchandra, about how he'll appear, what he will be doing in the future. So they have known all these things. And later on, when Lakshmana gets very, very disturbed after banishing Sita in the forest, Sumantji says to Lakshman that I knew about all these things. I had heard it. And I was with your father Dashrath. I had heard it already, that this is going to happen. So this is mentioned in the Valmiki Ramayana. So here they knew, and then they are glorifying the Lord. And so the important thing is Yatopadesha Munibhi Prachodita from the previous verse. So sa esha dharma britam shreshto lokam dharmenu vartayan. So they're still speaking about Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj, what he will do. So he will be the best among those who practice
For religious principles.
religious principle, dharma. So he'll be the best amongst those who practice, the practitioners or following. So he will follow dharma. So we know that there are, we can see all the kings, they were very much, they were very much for the dharma. They ensured that people followed dharma. They followed themselves and they ensured that other people followed. So here, following dharma, we see the great kings. The great kings, for example, there was one king, and he would always practice truthfulness. Who was that king? Very, very well known.
Harishchandra.
Yudhishthir?
Harishchandra.
Yeah, Harishchandra and
Yudhishthir.
Yudhishthir are very, very well. These two are very, very well known for being so truthful. Harishchandra, Raja Harishchandra, very truthful. Even he had promised to give his kingdom. And how did he promise? In the
Dream.
In the dream he promised, and he actually, when he woke up, and he decided to give his kingdom to whom?
Vishwamitra.
Vishwamitra, because he had dreamed and he had promised in the dream. So we can see that he was so truthful, and his truthfulness was tested, and he had promised and he kept his promise. So that we know that one of the pillars of dharma is truthfulness. So there are 4 pillars of dharma, and we know that they are. What are these 4 pillars?
Truthfulness and
Yeah.
austerity. No,
Austerity,
cleanliness.
cleanliness, and one more.
Austerity, cleanliness. Non-violence. Non-violence.
Mercy.
Mercy, correct.
Mercy.
Yeah. So truthfulness, austerity,
Cleanliness.
Hmm?
Purity or cleanliness.
yeah, purity or cleanliness, and mercy. These are the 4 pillars of dharma. And of course, we also know that how these things are destroyed. How truthfulness is destroyed. Truthfulness is destroyed when one engages, especially
Gambling.
in
Gambling.
Mhm.
Yeah. Austerity is destroyed because of
Intoxication.
intoxication. And cleanliness is destroyed because of
Illicit
Illicit
sex.
sex.
illicit sex. And mercy is destroyed because of
Killing animals.
doing animals. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj, gave these places which are not actually available at that time. Dyutam Panam Sriya Suna Yatra Adharmas Chaturvida. These are the 4 places of irreligion, 4 places of adharma. Dyutam Panam Sriya Suna. Dyutam means gambling. Panam means intoxication. Illicit sex. Sriya Suna means
Killing animals.
killing animals. So he followed dharma. And there are not only him, we see there's so many other examples in the scriptures of leaders or the kings following dharma. So we have Yudhishthir was, he is also known as, what's the name of Yudhishthir normally? What is he called?
Dharmaraj.
Dharmaraj.
Dharmaraj Yudhishthir. Dharmaraj. Dharmaraj means Dharmaraj.
King of.
The upholder of the 4 pillars.
Yeah. So you can see that's Dharmaraj Yudhishthir. We have Satyavadi Harishchandra. He followed the dharma. So all these kings followed the dharma. For them, the family came later, the kingdom, the citizens came first. Even Lord Ramachandra, also the personality of Godhead. He was he also gave up his wife just to keep the citizens happy. It teaches also Raj Dharma, how a king should be, how he should be equal to both, to every citizen of the country. So, Esha Dharma Britam Shrestha. He's saying, he's pointing out Esha, this king, Prithu. Esha Dharma Britam Shrestha is going to be the best amongst those who uphold religious principles or dharma. And Loka Dharma Nuvartayan. Also, he will not only do it himself, but what we will do?
He will engage everyone
in
the pursuit of religious.
He will do himself, and then he will make others practice. Which comes first? Making others do?
Do yourself first. Do myself first.
Do yourself first. That comes first.
Yeah.
I need to do first and then make others do. I need to chant the holy name
then
make others
ask
do.
others. Yeah.
I have to do perform devotional service and make others perform. That is why in the Bhagavad Gita there is a important verse where it is said,
Jad Jad Acharita Shrestha.
yes, correct. Yes. Yad Yad Acharati Shreshtas Tat Tad Evetara Janaha Sayat Pramanam Kurute Lokas Tad Anuvartate. Whatever the great personalities do, Shreshta, this word Shreshta is mentioned here as well. Shreshta. Dharma Britam Shreshta. So whatever the Shreshtas do, whatever the great people, Acharati Shreshtas, the leaders, the Brahmanas, the spiritual leaders, sannyasis, parents, teachers, all these people, whatever they do, the common people
follow them.
And whatever standards they set by their actions, other people actually that is taken as praman. So Isha Dharma Britam Shrestho Loka Dharmenu Vartayan. So others, he'll also engage others in following dharma. He will practice dharma and make others practice dharma. I mean, we see that in the case of so many incarnations of the Lord, and we see, especially in the most recent times, an incarnation of the Lord. He comes and teaches us dharma, the supreme dharma, and he, by his own acharan, he teaches dharma.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes. It is mentioned in one of the verses that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes by his own acharan. He teaches us devotional service. Sikshartha Eka Purusha Puranaha. So Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. He teaches Vairagya Vidya, the knowledge of detachment. What is detachment? He teaches. And Nija Bhakti Yoga, his own devotional service, but he comes and teaches. And how does he teach? By his own acharan, by his own he practices.
Example.
This is how you practice devotional service. This is how you chant the Maha Mantra. Because at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tam Sarva Papebhyo Moksheshyami Ma Suchaha. He says this: give up all varieties of religion and just surrender to me, and I will free you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Lord Krishna says this. And then Lord Krishna goes back and is thinking, how can I make these people of this Kali Yuga, how can I make them actually surrender unto me? And then he himself comes. Of course, we know that Advaita Acharya, he was calling again and again to the Lord, asking the Lord to appear, because he knew that Lord himself can deliver the fallen people of this age. And how did he please the Lord? Advaita Acharya.
With Ganga water, he was calling to.
Yeah, and Tulsi.
Yeah, Tulsi, yes. Ganga water.
So Toyam and Patram. Toyam and Patram. By Lord Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam.
Jo me bhakti prayashyati.
Tadaham Bhaktya Paritam.
Asnami prayatat.
So he was able to please the Lord. And he was calling the Lord, please come and deliver the fallen people of this age. And then Lord came, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and by his own, he practiced and made others practice as well. He chanted the Mahamantra, and that every night they will be having, where will they have all the chanting going on?
Srivasangan.
Huh? Yeah, Srivasangan. The Srivasa's house, Srivas Thakur's house, he was having all the Harinam every day, and they'll perform, and then he gave it to everyone, freely distributed the Harinam to everyone. And he was even sometimes, like once he distributed to 20,000 sannyasis. All the sannyasis had come. And who was the main one? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered all the sannyasis, 20,000 sannyasis. They were all. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered, and he was sitting near the place where there was a, wash the place where they washed their feet, and there's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said there, and this, and then one sannyasi, the top or the leader of them, of the group of sannyasis, called him, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "I am not qualified," and he asked him why he was chanting the Mahamantra. He said, "My Guru considered me very fallen, and he has given me this mantra." Who was that? Which sannyasi?
No idea.
Prakashanand.
And the Saraswati.
Yeah, Prakashanand Saraswati. And then we know that all of them became pure devotees. So he practiced, and he made others practice. So there's another incarnation of the Lord. So here this Bhikkhu Maharaj, incarnation of the Lord. He practiced dharma and lokam dharme nuvarte. He will practice dharma, and he will engage others in practicing dharma. Lokam means lok, the whole world. And also Goptacha Dharma Setuna. What else he will do? He will protect
the religious principles.
Yeah, he will protect Dharma. So he will perform Dharma, these religious principles, and make others do it. He will protect it, because it's very important. Also, sometimes the Dharma actually, because people don't properly practice, then it's just lost. Lord Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, Imam vivashvata yogam proktavanaham avya vivashvan manave manurishvaka vebhrave evam parampara praptam evam rajarshi vidisakali namata yoga nashta parantava sa evam maya tedya yoga proktam puratana bhakto sinisakacheti rahasyam etaduttamam. Lord Krishna is saying that I gave this knowledge to
Vivashvan.
God.
Vivashvan gave it to
Sun God.
Sun God is Vivashvan. Vivashvan gave it to his son.
Manu, Iksaku.
Manu.
Then Iksaku.
Manu gave it to Ikshvaku.
Iksaku, yeah.
And then through this disciplic succession, through parampara, the great sages, the saintly kings received it. But what has happened in the due course of time?
It's lost.
Lost. Therefore, I'm giving it again. Because you
To
are my
Arjun.
devotee and my friend. So sometimes that happens. So the king or the Lord, actually, in this case is the Lord Prithu Maharaj, he will ensure that the principles of religion is protected, the dharma is protected. People know what actual dharma is. So now sometimes, this, especially in Kali Yuga, people are not sure what dharma is. And they create their own dharma.
True.
Right? They create their own constitution. And
True.
in their constitution, they have something different. And the leader themselves will vote for that. The leader will say, okay, it's okay to kill yourself. And they vote for that. Then they had last time referendum during the elections, and then the Prime Minister is also voting for that referendum, which was one of the referendum. One is making the, what do you call it? There are two referendums in New Zealand. One was to
one is to make the drug available in the stores.
make the
Drugs available in the store.
making the what was that they call it?
Some kind of addictive drugs. I'm not sure about its name.
Something like marijuana.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Another one is to
give that
mercy killing kind of thing. Mercy killing. If somebody is suffering from
if someone wants to die, then they can choose to die.
Yeah.
So that means you can die at your own will. So those things are there, and then of course other things are always there. There are so many things which are sinful, but they're not considered to be crime. Sinful, but not considered to be crime according to the law of the country. So it's not criminal, but it's sinful, of course. But these are what? These are man-made, rules.
Law by government.
Yeah, the law by the government. So because the thing is, the people don't follow the scriptures; they follow their own constitution. So Gopta cha dharma setu nam. So he is also going to protect the religious principles, making sure that they are there. They are there now, and they are there till he is there. And also, what else? Tat paripantinam. Shastra, shashan karna. Shasta, tat paripantinam. So what he will do? He will, what else?
Great chastiser to the irreligious.
Yeah, those people who don't follow dharma, he will ensure that they are given appropriate punishment. The Kshatriyas are there to protect, and they're also there to punish. They protect and punish, just like Lord comes to protect and punish. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha duskrita. Right, and so here they will also protect, punish those people who actually do not follow dharma, because that's also important. If you don't punish those people who don't follow dharma, what will happen?
Adharma will come.
Adharma will spread. And then people start following adharma. Isn't it true? So those are some of the important things in this verse. And those three very, very important things that he will be doing. One, he will be executing dharma himself. Number two, he will be
Engage everyone to follow the dharma.
In following dharma. Number three, he will
Chastiser of the religious.
chastise those people who don't follow dharma.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? If you don't, just have a look at what Prabhupada says in the purport. So we can see also Parikshit Maharaj, recent king, Parikshit Maharaj. He was chastising. He wanted to kill someone who was
Kali.
yeah. He was going to. He actually was getting ready to kill Kali, because Kali was giving suffering to
Bull.
Cow.
cow and the bull. Cow and the bull. And we know that he was ready to chastise him, and then he gave him the places. When he surrendered, he gave him the places which were not available at that time. Actually, it was very, very hard to find. And it's mentioned that he will ensure that people were kept away from those things. Dyutampanam, Striyasuna. So there's another example of a great personality, Kali. Parikshit Maharaj. And we know so many examples of great kings. Parikshit himself was a great king, Shantanu Maharaj. And we know there are so many examples of kings in the past. But the thing is, this king was special. This king we're talking about is special because he is.
That's not following dharma.
He's this.
He's an incarnation
No.
incarnation of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, he's an incarnation of the Lord.
Yes, sir.
Because normally when you glorify, when you glorify the Lord, when you offer prayers to the Lord, or you offer prayers to the Lord or Lord's incarnations or Lord's devotees, then you get
Purified.
You get purified. But not ordinary kings. Because if you glorify other people, of course we need to glorify others. We need to, for the qualities, good qualities they have, we need to glorify others, and we need to glorify the Lord, and we discussed last time in the last class 2 days ago on Sunday, that you need to glorify the Lord always, and you need to glorify good qualities of others in public, but never you always chastise anyone, your subordinates in a private place, not in a public place, and never glorify
yourself.
Never glorify your own self, because that's as good as death, or as bad as death, according to Mahabharata. And so glorifying others, of course, we don't benefit much. But when you glorify the Lord, then we get purified, because it is one of the 9 kinds of devotional service. So just glorifying the Lord for his devotees. That's why there's a lot of glorification of the Lord and his devotees in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, so any questions or do you have any questions, devotees? Or if not, then what did you learn today? What are some of the important lessons that you learned?
We should glorify Lord.
To glorify the Lord, yes, very nice.
To purify ourselves.
To purify ourselves, good. What else?
Practice devotional service.
Practice devotional service. And
We
make
should-
others practice.
We
Yes.
should not glorify ourselves.
Yes, should not glorify ourselves. Yeah, ourselves. Practice devotional service and make others practice.
Yes.
So that's why Prabhupada said, preaching is the
essence.
So you know it now. You are benefiting it. You are relishing, the bliss. Now you need to give it to
Others.
Doesn't have to be in sitting on a vyasasana and doing it, but you can do it to your friends, your family members, your relatives, and whoever you come in contact with. You can just so that's important. I'm doing it. I give it to others as well, so that others also benefit.
Benefit.
So I do and make others do. What else? Yes. What else we learned?
Prabhu, can I ask a question?
Yes, Mataji.
Can you expand upon that point from Mahabharata about how glorifying yourself is as good as death? Like the relationship between death and glorifying oneself.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay.
So this is what's the Mataji? What's the name? Dina Dayal.
Dina Dayala. Yeah.
Dina Dayala Devi Das. Yeah, okay. So thank you, Mataji, for a very nice question. So it's mentioned in Mahabharata that what happened is once during the battle, what happened is Yudhishthir got defeated on that day. He got injured as well. So he went to his like there is a place where they made a big what do you call marquee or whatever they had, or we call it shibir. So he went into his shibir, and because he was injured, and when Arjuna came to know this, Arjuna said to Lord Krishna, "Let's go to Yudhishthir." And we know that the Lord was a charioteer. So Lord took the chariot to where Yudhishthir was. And then Yudhishthir asked Arjuna why he came there. He said, "Why did you come here? Have you defeated already the enemy? Have you defeated Karna?" Because at that time he was fighting with Karna. "Have you defeated Karna and have come here?" He said, No, I just came here. He's still there. He's still alive. He said, "Why did you come here? You should not have left the battlefield to come to see me. You should be there, and you should give up your Gandiva Dhanush, because you are the carrier of Gandiv, but you have left the battlefield and you have come here." So he had taken a vow that if anyone says to me, "Give up the Gandiv," and then I will actually kill him. So he had gone to see the brother, but now he takes his sword and gets ready to kill Yudhishthir. And Lord Krishna is saying, "What are you doing?" He said, "No, I'm going to kill my brother." He said, "You have come to see your brother. Why are you killing him? Why do you want to kill him?" He said, "Because I have taken a vow that anyone who says this to me, to give the Gandiv, I will kill that person." Lord Krishna said, "Calm down. If you really want to kill, there's another way to kill him. And that is by, all the time you have been glorifying your brother and you're giving him so much respect. Now, for a respectable person, insulting that person whom you have been giving respect all the time, that is same as death for him." So now all the time he was using the word, Bhavan. He said, "Now, Twam. And also he started insulting him that because of you, all the battle is taking place. We have to fight unnecessarily, killing people, killing our relatives." He started insulting his brother, and he had never done that before. So then that was same as death for him. And now he became so upset, Arjuna, after insulting his brother, whom he was respecting always. This time is insulting him, and he felt so bad that he wants to kill himself now. He takes the sword. Krishna is saying, what are you doing now?" He said, "No, I'm killed myself now, because I've insulted my glorious brother. For no reason I have done this." But and he takes the sword and gets ready to kill himself. And Lord Krishna says, "No, don't do this. For if you want to kill yourself, there's another way. You just glorify yourself." So he starts glorifying himself. I'm such a powerful warrior. I defeated single-handedly all the Kauravas. I defeated Lord Shiva and got this Pashupat Astra. I have done this. I have done that. And I am Gandiv Dhari. So he says all these things. And for that in the Mahabharata, that's considered to be death. One's own glorification is as bad as death.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? Anything or anything else that we learned?
Chastise for adharma.
Yes, Mataji.
Chastise for adharma.
Yeah. Chastising those who are not following Dharma. Yes, correct. So that's all these are very important for a good king. And of course, this is not a ordinary king. He is the supreme Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, all the devotees. Shri Shri Radha Girdhari Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Shri Gauri Sai
Jai.
Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Shri Sita Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman ki jai.
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 Panchakal Bhagavatam ki jai.
Bhagavat ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhupada ki
Shri
jai.
Kripa Sindhu Bhaya
Patitana Bhavaniyo Vaishnavi
Namo Namah Ananta Koti
Vaishnav ki jai.
Vrinda ki jai. Hare
His Grace Dr.
Hare
Madhav Govind Prabhu ki jai.
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 So thank you all the devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you all
Hare
the
Krishna.
thank you Prabhuji's and Mataji's, and thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki jai.